Hi and welcome to Les Mills. Before we can let you through the gates, we need you to watch this induction video covering off the health and safety points to keep you and others safe whilst you're working on site. The site contact is our facility manager unless an alternative site contact has already been predetermined and outlined in the scope of works. The Les Mills health and safety policy has already been supplied to you. It is also displayed in the club. Club rules are located online at www.lesmills.co.nz/club rules. Our emergency procedure signs are located in and around the club. Please make sure you understand these and ask if there is anything that you are unsure about. A desk phone can be found on the gym floor desk to contact reception if it is not practicable to make your way to reception. Each and every one of us plays a part in ensuring the effectiveness of our HSMS and assisting to improve our systems and processes as we learn from any events that arise. Incidents and near misses must be reported as soon as possible. A staff member of our management team will then follow up and/or a LMNO representative, depending on the nature of the event. The seriousness of the event may result in escalation, and Les Mills will follow all required NZHS legislation and reporting procedures. First aid kits are located within the club, and we also have an AED available for use. Should an evacuation alarm sound, you must stop work, make any equipment safe, and evacuate. Club wardens can be identified by white or yellow helmets. Evacuation assembly points are clearly visible on the emergency procedures signs. Portable equipment and call points are also clearly labelled within the club. JHAs and scope of works are completed prior to any work commencing on site. The scope of works will outline your hours of work and includes a task-specific brief of the work that is to take place. Permits to work will also have been checked through the JHA process. Relevant PPE must be used at all times and will have been addressed in the JHA and the scope of works that has been completed for the facility manager. Basic requirements include but are not limited to safety footwear being worn at all times within the club and relevant eye, ear or respiratory protection being worn should the work require it. Your work area must be contained and tidy to minimise the impact on other operations and processes within the club. Safe methods and practices should always be followed. Please ensure that your work will not have a negative impact on our members and other workers within the club. Please use barricades and signage as required. Reception will check and confirm the required Les Mills Contractor Company H&S Agreement Form and Les Mills Contractor Worker H&S Agreement Form have been completed and any requirements met prior to you proceeding through the club. Once confirmed, reception will supply you with your contractor visitor badge and Les Mills high-vis vest should you not have your own. These must be worn at all times while on site. You will then sign in and step through the gates. Once you have completed your work or should you need to leave, you are to sign out at reception and return your Les Mills items. On your return, you will need to complete the same procedure of signing in and subsequently signing out. This process is incredibly important to ensure we know who is on site at all times and what work is being undertaken. The implications of not conforming to the HSMS requirements are unacceptable and the consequences, actual or potential, could be fatal. Anyone that undertakes work outside of our operating hours will be shown how to securely lock the club on their departure. Let's go on a quick tour of the club so you get your bearings and can see how to exit the building in an emergency.